All right, so here we are in my 1985 and a half Pininfarina Spidereuropa. It is the first day of the winter now where it's not 30 degrees out and there's not salt all over the roads. We've had a few days of rain here. And I think it's time we give her a little cold start and see what she can do before we get some work done on her. Now, I haven't run it since just before Thanksgiving. It's now just after Christmas. I just checked the oil. We're all good. Let's see what the Bosch Eldtronic can do. Ain't that something? Oil pressure coming up. A little cold rev just to let her know she's alive. Now you can hear that the exhaust has a pretty bad leak right now. That would be because the resonator has completely separated from the header pipe. That's fine. We'll order a new one. So this is just going to be a little video driving around, getting to know her, getting some footage, and then hopefully in the next week or two I can make one about fixing everything. Now, I haven't mastered the art of filming yet, so I am driving stick currently with one hand. Hopefully not too much of a hazard to the people around me. But let's just wake her up a little bit, get some oil circulating. I think we're going to do a little oil change today as well. And potentially have our first drive shaft party of the year. So the backstory on this car is I paid $500 for it and bought it from some good friends. Now, the guy that I sail for here in town called me and said, "Harry, you like weird old cars. My wife's friends, well, my friends, have a car they'd love to get rid of, so you should go check it out." And I've always loved the Fiat 124 Spiders. I had an Alpha Spider for a while and missed having a little sports car. See, there goes our oil pressure, looking good. Yes, I am still running the original sender for it. So everyone's told me they're not accurate, but hey, they're not accurate on the low side. They're fine on the high side. That's all that I care about. So anyway, so I picked the car up, and it hadn't been on the road for about 12 years, and got it home, found that put some Noid lights on the injectors, and found the injectors weren't firing. So what do? Chase bad grounds. It's an Italian car. Of course it has some bad grounds. Once we get under the hood, I'll show you guys what all I did, but it turns out there was just some bad grounds, and cleaned those up, and it ran on the 15-year-old gas that was in it. So apparently they drove it to their house when they bought their new house, and then it sat for a few years. Anyway, let's cut back once we're in the shop, and I'll give you the tour of the car. Alright, well, here we are at the shop, and you can get a look at the outside of the Pininfarina. So, being an 85 and a half, it has the special Cromodora wheels, which personally, not my favorite style, but they are cool and unique. You can see that it's one of the T Missouri editions, which me spending a lot of my time sailing kind of checks out. You can hear that the exhaust may or may not be coming out where it should right now. But again, we'll fix that in the near future. You can see right there the pipe going into the resonator, not particularly hooked up. But you can also see that the rockers are generally in pretty good shape. Still rocking the factory catalytic converter. All the lower doors are pretty straight. Then we have the interior. Now, it's not perfect. It lived outside under a cover most of its life. But it is, all in all, in very good shape. I have some fun things like these old road maps. We have the remote I always joke it looks like one of the death rays from the original War of the Worlds movies. Put that in here. I need to figure out what's on this film. Go have this developed. Found that under the seat. Show that to a family I got it from. Now, I believe that this was a European import car. I know Rob bought it when he was stationed in Italy in the Navy. And apparently all the US spec cars had an underdash air conditioning unit and no radio. You can see this is obviously a very period aftermarket radio. This here is just the wiring for the bell for the key. Let you know if the key is in the ignition or the headlights are on. I did put a new top on it. Did a pretty good job. I need to go tuck this corner back on right here. It's starting to peel out a little bit from underneath its little hook. Now the speedometer cable did break, but a new one should be here next week. So hopefully that can be a fun little job to get into. And now here we have the Lampredi 4-cylinder. To do here are replace the seals on the injectors, which I believe the injectors have been replaced. I can't tell you when. I've already replaced almost all the fuel lines on it. I haven't done the cold start injector one. A new one of these main intake hoses is coming. You can see that this is actually broken off here. Electric fan running. Now, some of the differences between the 85.5 and the earlier cars include having a coolant overflow reservoir here. That's a good thing. I like that. The washer fluid mounted in the cowl there. Larger radiator. Special wheels and brakes. Should have shown this earlier. This little light, which of course is broken, being a special part. This little light with this recess stamped into the door. You can see it was Z-parted from the factory. That must be why the whole thing's not rotted out. Behind the seats here, whoop, flip, you have this storage shelf with fun storage inside. This rosewood shift knob with the coin holders, that light that I showed earlier. All kinds of fun stuff. Apparently these top supports for the hardtop are different. Now, I am by no means a world expert on the Pininfarina Spidereuropa. So feel free, please, in the comments to go and point out anything I may have missed or anything like that. Now, one of the sillier things I've done, pardon all the trash that I have in the trunk here, is I removed the tank and cleaned it out best I could. However, I still found there was some dirt getting to the injectors and causing problems. So this is a marine style Raycor water separating fuel filter, which you can see is just doing its job, filtering fuel. Now, I've put over 3,000 miles on the car, which is a lot for any Fiat, am I right? And I've had zero issues with that. So is it a fire hazard? Probably. Is it a concern of mine? Not at all. And someday, I'll run it enough that it won't be a problem at all. Now, the car has been repainted at some point. They did a pretty good job. Now, unfortunately, just to get the rust fixed, I am going to have the whole thing repainted again. The original color would have been a little bit darker than this. You can see on the bottom of the hood, the Azura blue is almost a purpley color, whereas the rest of the car is a much lighter blue. So I actually like the color that it's painted, but being an 85.5, it is a unique and special enough car that I would like it to be completely original. Anyway, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little tour of the 124 Spider, and hopefully in the next few weeks here, we can get some solid work done on her. Cheers.